artists connected with their communities and loving every minute of it. When I got up this morning, it was a little bit rough. I said to myself, what am I going to face today? Everybody is changing and everything is changing. The one constant in the world is change. And what we have to be is resilient, flexible, and able to pivot at the slightest moment when we need to. And we got to listen to good people like here on Omega Radio. And I thank my friends in the engineering booth. They make me look good no matter what happens. And I thank our broadcast hosts every week for creating the environment in which I can help you get connected with artists in your area and around the world. We have talked to people in Australia. Just now, I spoke with Pastor Joan on the way out the door, saying how wonderful it is that she's been listening to us, and we are so happy to have our listeners call in, talk to us, and give us some great ideas for programs, because all my best ideas come from you. The struggle is real and it is hard. Abraham took a leap of faith and he said, God, you're telling me to go somewhere. I have no idea where it is. I have no idea what's going to happen. But guess what? I'm going to go anyway. That takes an incredible amount of courage. And I am so grateful to all our ancestors as the three faiths that are most central in the minds of God, and the children of God everywhere in this world that are suffering can join us in feeling the love present in my voice right now. If you're out there, you know we love you. You are a worthy being. You are an artist in the making. And you are a work in progress. Everyone is a work in progress and makes mistakes. What happens as an artist when you make mistakes? Guess what? Let it dry. Think about it a minute. Reflect on it and paint it over. Because that's what happens. When we are human beings of the kind that we are, which is finite, which is sometimes narrow viewing, we have to expand our minds a little bit. We got to get outside our box. If you're in a box, get up, walk out, open the door, crack the window. Do something different and something that scares you every day, because that is how you get more flexible, resilient, and are able to pivot, because you've got more information, more experience, and more sources of help coming your way. And we are a source of help out there to all kinds of artists. We've had, over the weeks and months, we've had musicians, we've had magicians, we've had visual artists, we've had members of the clergy across the board, we've had gospel singers, we've had bell ringers. And I am a happy woman right now in the place called the creative space. Picasso once said, good artists copy, great artists steal. And let me tell you about that. What Picasso meant is that you take an idea that's really, really good, and there are a lot of great ideas out there, but you can, being you, bring your own spin to it. You can improve it. You can enhance it. You can perfect it. And the most important thing you perfect is yourself. You take a minute every day, you talk to the divine, and you say, what is it you would like to perfect in me today, God? Am I a little short-tempered? Am I a little, what's the word? Forgetful? That's me. There are all kinds of ways that you can perfect yourself and the world around you, and that is what God put you on this earth to do, because you got a job. I am actually what's called a mixed media artist. I work in all kinds of media. Picasso was that way also. He was very good at taking great ideas and making them his own. In fact, he invented a whole new kind of art. He and a few others too, but he's most famous for inventing Cubism. It's a very deep looking, but very strange looking when you first see it. It doesn't seem like it's real. It's very abstract, but if you saw what he was looking at the time he was looking at it, you knew he captured great aspects of the person or the thing that he was trying to depict. Picasso was a printmaker. He graduated art school at the ripe old age of 16. His dad happened to be dean of the local art academy, and he even knew on his own that he was already beyond what school had to offer him. Sometimes that happens. You take a detour. You spread your wings a little bit, fly, take a trip, see what happens. That's what happened to Abraham. Abraham took that leap of faith and said, God, I know I don't know where I'm going, but I know you will get me there. So Abraham started on the long journey to Canaan, and his family, his dad in particular, the story is that he stopped along the way. I can imagine what he said to Abraham is, hey, son, I'm getting kind of up there. I need you to carry on my work. Finish the journey, find out what's at the end of the road. Abraham had his detours too. He got stopped in Egypt. Does that sound familiar to you? And it was as if God was saying, with all this experience, learn, be, do. Be a citizen of the world. Be an observer of the world. And find joy in it, because right now, that's what we have. I've always been a bit of an optimist. There's a saying in Texas, good old state that I came from before I came here. It says, you pray as if everything depends on God, then you work like the devil, because it all depends on you. There are two parts to every equation. There's the parts you can do and the parts you find out about. That's part of the journey along the way, and we all know there are stops, there are detours, there are struggles. And the way that we deal with those struggles is what defines us as people of faith, and as spiritual beings. I'm going to take a break for just a minute and be right back with you in 2 shakes.
It's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down. No, no. So don't you bring me down today.
Good morning again. In case you joined us late, my name's Catherine Shapiro. I am the host of The Creative Space. The space is designed to be a safe place for artists to come, connect, and talk to their communities about art. Today we are talking about the struggle in making art. There's lots of struggle going on out there, and you know where it's coming from. It's coming from a place we don't want to be. It's coming from that dark little corner of the human soul that says, I'm not worth it. Yes, you are. We are so capable of making the world into a better place. And I want to do that today, and I want to keep doing it. In the next few weeks, we're going to have some terrific guests and a wonderful, wonderful discussion about a new kind of intelligence in the world, artificial intelligence. There are a lot of myths and legends and stories surrounding the birth of computers and artificial intelligence. The most important of them is that there is a thing out there that wants to take us over. No. There are tools, and then there are tool users and tool makers. We are the tools of God. We are tool makers. That is what makes us in the image of God. We can create the world with His help that we need and want for everybody. What's your job in doing that? That is what you're here to find out. That's the creative part of us, the other part of the divine image that says you can make new things of beauty in the world. That's the potential of humanity. Do we decide to do good? Do we decide to make a space for good in the world? Or do we do things that are what is called in Hebrew missed opportunities? That's what sin really is. It's a missed opportunity. That's what a mistake really is. It's an opportunity to try again. Failure is not a stain or a shame. It's an opportunity to learn. You figure out what your mistakes were. You take a minute, you take a breath, and then you start again. It's another concept that I love in our world of faith. It's called teshuvah. It's called the concept of return. You can always come back. No matter how far you go in that strange world out there, God will always be watching for you, and He will always love you, want you to come back and talk to Him. Because that's the best talk there is. And that's the way you get inner peace. You talk to the right source. That source of nothing but peace. That source of love. That source of knowledge. That's God. That's the image. And that's the part of us that we should feed. I have a lot of friends in a lot of traditions, and one of them has a story about a wolf that comes to your door. That wolf is all that anger, all that pain, all that suffering, all that frustration. You either feed that wolf or you don't. You say to that wolf, hey, get out of here. You don't belong here. Or you feed it. You feed it all the anger. You feed it all the frustration, and you go do something you'll regret later on. That's the wolf at your door. And it's your decision and mine what you do when he decides to ring the bell. There's a lot of wolves out there, and some of them look real pretty. They're wearing diamonds, they got pearls, they got wonderful things they'll tell you are NFTs. They're shortcuts. They'll give you all the sales you need. Don't listen to that. That's feeding the wolf. Feed the love. There is no room for hate in the creative space. None. There is a lot of it out there lately. Keep your heads up. Be proud. Be the person that God meant you to be. I'm named after two people, actually. I'm named after Catherine of Siena, and I'm named after Miriam, Moses' sister, the one who helped him help us cross the river, cross the Red Sea, cross that narrow place. When we were at the end, when we thought we were at the end of the journey, and we were standing at the edge, and the waves were running, and the storm was brewing, and the Egyptians were coming up from behind, Moses got a little scared himself, I think, and he said, "Pray to God." And God said, "No." He said, "Moses, what are you talking about?" He said, "Get these people moving." That's what he said. Change requires movement. It requires effort. It requires work. And a lot of people out there, they're wanting someone else to do the work. Look at the guy next to you. Look at the guy next to you. Don't look at him. Look in the mirror. Find the thing that you think needs change the most, that you have the most control over, and go do that. And give the rest to God. That is the way to make it in the world without being of the world. That's the way to keep in touch with that moral compass of yours that you know is there. Everybody has one. Even the ones you don't think have one. They just have one that's slightly different than yours. And what you have to find is common ground, common direction, shared purpose. We all have a shared purpose too. Our friends in Islam, our friends in Christianity, our friends in Judaism, we all have things in common in the things that we love. Our family, our friends, the world and the beauty that we live in. And each of us has a responsibility and a love for that world and a task given to us by God. And we can do it. We just don't always know we can. It is never a problem to seek help. If you are having a struggle, if you really feel like you need an assist, ask for one. There's all kinds of, for your information, what you'd want to do is go to your local webpage. For resources, there are all kinds of them. You can make a lot of phone calls. You can talk to 988. That's the suicide hotline. If anybody you know is considering something drastic or you're considering it yourself, don't do something you will regret. Pick up the phone. Call a friend. Call a pastor. Talk about your feelings. Own them, be responsible for them, and seek help for them. We all need help and we all need each other in the world. The trick is being kind and gentle while we do it. Truth is great, and it is an integral part of being a good person. You have to be truthful with people. But truth without kindness is cruel. Mercy is one of the most famous qualities of God. It gave him the mercy to deal with even the Egyptians when he said, "Don't," and they did. It gave him a second minute to deal with Moses, who could be kind of crazy sometimes. Moses even disagreed with God on occasion and got frustrated with God on occasion. And he did, in the end, do what he was asked, because he knew in his heart that that's what was right. Doing what's right is never easy. Doing what's easy is never right, or not as easy as it should be. If you are a good person and you know that you are, and you deal with people like you are, and you assume that there are good people out there, you will find a partner to deal with your struggles and help you in your journey. There are lots of us out there who are willing to help, ready to be with other artists, ready to collaborate. That's the word. That's the new word for today. Collaborate. You can collaborate with a lot of different kinds of people. You can learn from them. You can create great ideas together that you take out into the world, and you make that world a better place. That is what I love about being a community organizer and a volunteer. You can pick and choose the things that you can do, that you love, and you want to become reality. And there isn't a thing in the world that people can do to stop you. If God is your friend, your compass, and you are on His side, you will win every time. It may take you a while. There may be a struggle or a detour or a mistake or two in the works. But you'll get there, just like Abraham did all those years ago. And we are thankful every day that he made it, because that means we did too. Every generation has their struggle, and every generation has their joy. Find your joy. Find a friend to share it with. Find help, get help, be kind, reach out. That is what a community really is. And that is what we need in this world of change. I have never met a bigger optimist than my mom. She has always told me that we are worthy beings, we are well made, we are created by God. The more people out there that believe that, the further this world will get. And the happier the journey will be. Pick your people that go on your journey with you very carefully. And when you find them, don't lose them. We too often lose touch with people who we love and we want to be in our lives. There are really good tools out there to stay in touch. Stay in touch with your friends. Keep your family. And they're not always your friends on Facebook, by the way. Social media is the ultimate unifier, but it can also be a very big divide. And you have to know in your own heart and your own mind where that dividing line is. If you have had a source that you love and you trust, you stay with it. It'll get you where you're going, and you will be, as the children of Abraham, as numerous as the stars in the sky. I'm here every week, Wednesday, 101.9 FM, Omega Radio. My name is Catherine Shapiro, and I am your host in the creative space. I will be back next week with some great guests, a call-in or two, and more tips and tricks on living a more creative and inspired life. In the meantime, take a minute, take a breath, be grateful, enjoy yourself, love the people you're with, and have fun. Because genius is creativity, having fun. That was Einstein, by the way. He also said that you can live your life either believing in miracles or not. The choice is yours. I figure the father of relativity and astrophysics as we know it might have something there. If you want to join us next week, we will be here every week. I am hoping to have a really interesting guest on the creative space. And it is going to be an interesting trip. We have a lot of people, young people especially, making trips in the next few weeks, going off to college, finding some new things that they love doing, and getting to know all sorts of people. Let's keep our kids connected. Let's give them a base to stand on and wings to fly. We'll be doing that next week. Listen, Creative Space on Omega Radio every Wednesday at 10:30 with your host, Catherine Shapiro.
Waking up, thanking God.
The following is a paid announcement by Omega Radio. Omega Radio continues its journey